Hello and good morning to yet another exciting day of the Twisted Cup, well, that's not Twisted Cup, the spring season tournament, professionals tournament, whatever, round robin day 2, and today we're following Feast, and in the evening we're following R2K for the EU server. Now in the description there's a whole explanation on all of how you can get coins if you want them and you're on the Asia server. Only Asia accounts can get Asia coins, and same for every other server, so if you're not on Asia server, you don't have to watch through the portal because you won't get anything. Make sure you are logged in though if you are on the Asia server and you want the coin stuff. And basically that's it. I'm gonna take away the preview now and we see my lovely tier 1 on my Asia account. And we are just waiting for the room invite, which should pop up in a few minutes. At the same time I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up, but there's still quite a bit of delay left before we get there. And not much is going on yet. We saw yesterday some very interesting results. ID losing 2 times and not having a single point just yet. I'm gonna take you over to look at the chart as it is right now. Right now, this is a stance. It's a pretty even spread. New Boys has 2 points, TBT has 2 points. 101st AD, Low, TMNN and Feast all have 1 point, and ID and X-Range have no points. So that can literally just still go every which way, but this is only the second day of the 7 days that we will have, so that makes sense. And we're just basically, I'm really curious about the second match that we have today, because that is Feast against TNNM, and they're one of the ones that beat ID yesterday, so I will be very curious to see how that goes and what they're like. I have not all that much experience with the whole Asia spread just yet, because I haven't really been able to stream them before, so for me it is fun to get to know all the teams and all the clans that are behind it and just see how everything goes. So in the meantime, like I said, I am waiting for YouTube to catch up, but I won't do that in about 43 seconds. So I'm just gonna be opening my last crate and probably get boopsters. Yeah, boopsters. And that is it for now. We can't really do much else. I can take you to go over the lineup that we will have. So let's do that. Like I said, I'm following Feast for Asia this season around. And today we do have TNM, but that's the second match. And the first match that we get is 101st AD. So that should be fun. We're going to Normandy, Oasis, Palms, Rockfield, Canal, Naval Frontier and Desert Sands. They are definitely fun maps. Normandy, we've still not seen all that much. So for me, that is one of the most exciting maps to see in these tournaments. Because, well, it's not been used, it's not been overused yet. There are a few maps that we've seen so often that you can pretty much guess what people will do and what will happen. And then it's all a matter of who holds the best and who's exchanging shots the best and who's focus firing the best. But there's not really any new tactics that you can see. And that is different when you get new maps in the game, like Normandy. And since this is the first big tournament where Normandy is being used, that makes it highly interesting, because this is different than the general clan wars thing where people train against each other. This is a lot more serious, there's a lot more depending on it. So I'm just gonna make a quick note for myself, because I like using a little bit of help when it comes to these things, because my memory is absolutely, I can't say the naughty word, not so good right now. Let me go with that then. And I can't remember anything, so I'm just gonna make a note for myself to see what maps we've got, what maps I can show you later on. We have versus 101st AD, we get Normandy. I should have done this before, but I haven't been up that long, because in the middle of the night I was streaming Murica. And then we get TN and M, and I can't get rid of the whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Naval Frontier and Desert Sands. I am going to the room. Just finishing my note so that I know which maps to show you. And there are some personal favorite maps of mine that are involved here. So we have both teams that are pretty much already all there. They are working on their lineup. We start off with Normandy, the map I was talking about, and I'm just gonna pull that up for you so that you can see. This is Normandy with 4 bases, and when it comes to randoms, I always prefer to go to either C or D depending on where I spawn, and then pushing for the other one, because most often the team is split off and split up, and you get like, you can sort of overpower them by pushing straight onto the base that they expect to get and keep. But at the same time, it is very interesting to... Hang on. I get my own voice there. So sorry about that. Usually I pause it beforehand, but still. Like I said, Normandy. With the team battles, we do see a lot of action around A and B. Position-wise, I'm not that big a fan of that, but for some reason, in the Clan Wars stuff that we've seen so far, it gets used quite often. So, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what they do this time around. I've seen some very interesting tactics here, and I'm hoping to see some more very interesting tactics, because it's just a lot of fun to get a new map like this, and to have people play around with it. Now, after that, we get Oasis spawns, which looks like this. Yeah, 3 bases, B in the middle of the city, C in the middle of the desert, and A bit in a corner. Position-wise, I always prefer the seaside, but that is a bit more difficult for team battles, because you really want to dominate 2 bases, and B is hard to decap if you're not in the city or near A. So that will be fun to see as well. I'm hoping to see some good action and just basically cheeky early caps and all of that, because those are always fun. And after that, if we get to the 5th battle, we get Rockfield. Rockfield looks like this. I like this map. It's not a standard map. It's not technically an easy map. All the bases are fairly open, but there are some positions that you can use to just sit back and relax and cap without being shot at. But there's a great line of fire from A to C, with the hill between C, of course, and from C to A, if you go up a little bit on the hill, the ridge near C. But it's just fun. So, of course, for the teams, I understand that you would prefer that it wouldn't go to the 5th match. For me, I would actually quite like it if we get to the 5th match. So I'm gonna take the map away so that it won't be in the screen during the tournament matches. And we're all set to go. We have Feast with a lineup of 2 IS-4s, 2 268s, a 140, a T62A, and a mouse. And we have 101st AD. I'm just gonna go 101st, because if I have to keep saying the whole tag, it's just too long. With 3 IS-4s, a Batchat, a 268, a 263, and a T22 medium. I haven't seen the T22 medium that much, but I think it's a pretty rare tank, so a lot of people won't have it yet. And I know that me personally, I really want that tank, along with the T95 E6 that came out along with it. But because it was in a sort of gambling game during Christmas, I did not have thousands of euros to spend on it, so I did not get the tanks. So basically, we're just waiting now. We have 40 seconds left to go. We already went over the maps. I got my camera controls cheat sheet ready, because you never know. And now we just need to wait until we can go. Everyone is readied up. Everyone is set to go. I'm hoping that we're gonna see some fireworks on this map. And it's always fun, because in the evening I'm streaming the same maps for the EU server. And you see all different kind of things. And that makes it, for me, even more interesting, because I just love that kind of stuff. See what different clans do on different maps and all of that, and whether or not that's interchangeable for server or not. So here we go, first match of the day. I like the avatar Maddox has, that looks cool. Haven't seen that one around. Haven't been playing that much, but still. Only one? He doesn't want all of them to follow? So we have 101st focusing primarily on the D base, whereas on Feast side only Maddox is going there and the rest is focusing more on A and B. And that can be a big problem for Maddox later on. We do see some people being spotted, but BSB not being captured yet. But we have Sleeping Lion potentially moving in to remedy that. We have the 263 that is camping, but not having any shot yet. We see first shots being exchanged, no HP damage being done. Base A is being captured, and if they manage to get that before the T-22 arrives there, that means that Feast will have the point advantage. The T-22 has not been spotted yet, now he has. And we see a first cheeky shot there. And the T-22 decides, let's just get base A from them. I'm gonna show you a little bit of a different angle, because we want to see what happens for the rest. We see shots being exchanged. They are resetting. We have the Batchet that is coming up behind to help the T-22. But this might have been a very overextending move from the T-22. And he has little HP left now. But so is Huff. Huff is losing a lot of HP there. And this goes to show that the T-22 medium is quite a good tank. There he goes though, and he's out of the game. But it did cost him quite a bit of HP to get that done. We have the 263 that is moving in, or maybe not. I think he wanted to help keep the T-22 alive, but they didn't have the chance to anymore. So now Feast has two bases. We have the IS-4 that's overlooking it. I think we're going to see another cap from the Batchet now. The Mets are still around, but they aren't spotting now. And I wonder if we're going to see a blind shot. We have the T-628 that's going to make a spotting thing, I think. T-268 has been spotted. Ramming speed? Yeah, sort of. T-62A just lost a lot of health, but ooh, there goes the Batchet. And he manages to survive. But that same cannot be said for... oh, you have way too weird a name. 263 just took a massive hit there. He's getting absolutely massacred. And basically where people are holding in the town, there's just so much fireworks here going on the beach. Sleeping Lion is being rushed now though. And the 263 is almost dead. Aim carefully, there he goes. And that is 2 guns out of the equation and a very low HP Batchet. HP wise, it's not all, well now there's about 2k difference, but it's not all that much different. We have Huff that is going down to the beach. I think that's a good call because you don't want to lose your gun. IS-4 is capping base A. And ooh, that was a massive shot into Alpha there. A little bit of damage being done to the IS-4, but it's mainly to just the cap. The Batchet makes another appearance. But he has to be careful because if he gets shot, he will be dead. We have Huff that is not making a move. And Alpha that is nearly dead. But it's can go either way. And currently, we have the Mouse that is capping base B. And if he manages to do that, the pressure will... Oh, he does not. But the pressure will definitely be on. We have the Batchet that is going off against the one... Okay, that was epic. And we have the IS-4 standoff here with the 268 behind there, but they're not being able to do much. There goes Alpha, is 3 versus 3. HP wise, ooh, the Mouse is on fire and he manages to survive on 3 HP, but there he goes. But the pressure is still on 101st. Because if the 268 can get a shot in, and he might be able to with them pushing like this, there we go, and they just survive, then the game will be in favor of... Ooh, this will be tricky. Just taking him in for a close look. They are protecting each other. Massive shot, but no gun out of the equation. And there he goes. But there's still... If you can get that one shot, Deft has to be very careful here. Because as long as he survives, they could potentially have it. But it would help if you... There's a shot going in. He has to decap that base. He has to make the kill. We're just gonna see what he does. Ooh, that you had to make that count. Now you might have just given away the game getting that close. That was way too risky and it didn't work out. And now you're in a very precarious position. You're a one shot now and you're gonna die. Because especially you're now showing your bum to an IS-4. And the first game is for 101st. And I think that it was the object that gave this one away. Because that didn't need to happen. But it was an exciting game. Lots of basically fireworks going on near base A. Bit of a stalemate up above until it started falling apart. And let's ready up. Let's get ready to go again for Normandy. And currently on Feast side we see standstill being changed. And we have on 101st they're still being changed as well, so I can't really read the lineups yet without people being ready. But Feast seems to have decided on 2 IS-4s, 4 Object 140s and potentially a 268, but it might still change. And on 101st side, oh, it's an IS-4. So we basically get a team of IS-4s in Object 140s on Feast side. And on 101st we see a Batchat, the T-22 medium again, E3, 263 and 3 IS-4s. So this will be a fun match. I think this would lean towards an aggressive push, or at least people would expect an aggressive push. And in 35 seconds we get to go into the battle, we get to see what happens, we get to see where they go. I keep making sure that I have no map on the screen because that would be awful. Because these games are fun, so I don't want you to miss out on them. 15 seconds left to go. When I see a lot of tanks, aside from the IS-4, because the IS-4 is overused a lot in these matches, I'm always expecting a rush. But you never know. They could be doing something entirely different, expecting the enemy to expect a rush. Let's go, let's see what they do, let's see what happens. Up, up and away. With the explosions in the air. And we have 101st, there goes the plane. We have the 101st that is going a bit more towards the middle. We have 2 Object 140s near base A, we have base D being captured, and we have an E3 slowly but surely making its way to base C. And I think we're gonna see some fireworks. We also already see some shots going in. Base A has been decapped. And we see shots being fired. The Batchat at the back camping. HP being lost a bit all around, but the Object 140s definitely don't have the upper hand here. And I think Feast will have to relocate to make this work. We have the IS-4 that is making a move. They are basically pushing the Object 140s, and I don't think they're gonna get away fast enough. That was very lucky that he only lost. Ooh, he's gonna lose more now. Look at this. Poor sleeping lion. He's being massacred. And there's not much he can do about it. And at the same time, 101st is capping 3 bases. Well, has 2 and is capping more. Feast will have to focus fire a lot. They have to single out the ones that are alone. We see the first gun, the E3, disappearing. And there goes Sleeping Lion. He held out a lot longer than I thought he would. A lot of fireworks here. IS-4 at base B being massacred. The Object 140 going after the 263. Base B being steadily stolen. HP just vanishing all around. Both teams have lost 2 guns so far. But there's some very low HP target. There goes the Batchat. And this can literally go every way still. With the way that people are shooting at everyone. The IS-4 is in a bit of a pickle. He wants the one shot, but he doesn't get it. Alpha kept the base, and now it's 5 versus 3. And this is not looking good for 101st at all. With the IS-4 here, that is being targeted first. T-22 trying to get some shots, but Alpha is behind, and he's gonna kill off that IS-4. It's actually Maddox that does it. And that means that Alpha is free to shoot the other one. Sugu just died, but so does the T-22 medium. And now we only have Dragon Fruit left. And he does make another kill, but still with 33 points, you're not gonna last for long. And there we go. That was like slaughter. But this game definitely goes for Feast, and so the score is 1-1. And look at the damage that BNV, I'm just gonna call you BNV, that BNV did. Really exciting battle. Very aggressive gameplay. I'm not sure that either team wanted it to become a slaughter that soon, but it definitely, well, kind of worked out that way. So we are now moving to Oasis Palms. Let me just grab the map one more time to show you. Oasis Palms. 3 bases, 1 in the city, 1 in the desert, 1 a bit in the corner. Team-wise, I always feel that A and B are easier to dominate together than B and C, but C does have the better positioning in my opinion. So I would generally prefer going that side. I am going to take away the map to make sure that A is not on the screen. And we have Feast with a lineup of 2 113s, 2 IS4s, an E50M, a T62A, and potentially a 268. Whereas 101st has 1, 2, 3, 4 IS4s, an Object 140 in E5, and a T22 medium. E5 is, I like the tank, it's strong, but it is definitely not my favorite tank anymore, because with the cupola gone, it's a lot more boring to drive. I always feel that with the cupola, this tank was so much more troll and could get so many more bounces. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm curious to see what they do with this lineup, because Feast has quite a bit of speed, which for me, I would expect a base C rush potentially. And whereas 101st has a lot more holding tanks basically, so they could be going into the city there. We don't know, we won't know until we go there. And here we go. Let's go. We have Feast going a bit mostly towards the desert as I had expected, but the IS4 are going more into the city. And we have 101st that are going spotty. I don't think they expect they can actually get base C, but they want to be there, they want to know who else is there. We see some shots being fired, a little bit of HP being gone, a little bit more HP being gone. And they are capping base B. And that will be hard to decap, especially when they're capping with 2. So now 101st will have the base advantage. We see shots being fired. 113 following, I think the Object 140 is being rushed now. And they will lose some HP doing that. We have CK that is losing a lot of HP. There, oof, that was just deleted. And now the point advantage is in Feast hand because they already took out a tank. But the IS4s here are in a lot of trouble now. They are definitely getting rushed, and that makes sense. T22 is going... Ooh, Sleeping Lion is steadily being destroyed. There he goes. And now the guns are same number. And that means that now the advantage is for 101st, but not in HP. Though it doesn't differ all that much. We have Alpha that now got himself into a tricky position that is rushed by 3 tanks. He's not going to survive that. But at the same time, the IS4 has been destroyed on the other side. Alpha is almost gone, but it is costing them quite a bit of HP to get that done. And there he goes. Both teams have now lost 2 guns, and HP-wise, it is in favor of Feast for about 1k. The T22 medium is steadily losing more and more HP. Base B being overtaken by Feast. Or not, they're leaving it. I think they want that tank out of the way. We have Maddox that is being shot. We have Rheinfury that is having a standoff with the 268, but the 268 is in a very not so good position. He is losing a lot of HP there. And we see some... Well, it's going up pretty evenly though, if you look at it. But now they have captured base B, and that means that Feast has the point advantage. They just need to live. And that will be very difficult because the only one with a healthy HP pool is B and V. And there goes Huff. And there goes Maddox. And now this would be an epic Kolobanov situation if he manages to hold out. Basically all he needs to do is run away and survive. I don't think he will have the luxury to do that. But the only one that is fast enough to actually do anything about it is the T22 medium. Unless they start capping bases. And he should keep running because now the heavies are coming. And that will probably mean the end of BNW. He has to be careful. He's going to get a shot in the bum now. There he goes. He did make a kill, but he has very little HP left. And there he goes. And now it's 2-1 for 101st. That went up very evenly, but I think that when Feast didn't rush hard enough to those focusing on their IS4s, and at the same time, because of that, they were then sort of trapped in places individually where 101st had a much easier time picking them off, as they were all together and sharing their HP pool as such, because they were literally in a clutter. So now we get another battle on Oasis Palms. And we see Feast with two 113s, two IS4s, an E50M, a 268 and a T62A. Whereas we see 101st with a Leo, a 215B, two IS4s, a Foch, a T22 and an E5 again. I wonder if we're going to see something completely different this time around. Because now the pressure is definitely on Feast, because if they do not win this, they don't get the point, and the point will go to 101st. But if they do win this, we get the fifth match. And that will be fun to see as well. On another map again. And in 25 seconds, we get to go, we get to see. I hate this waiting game, I just want to go. 10 seconds left to go. And we finally hear the countdown thingy. 215B, by the way, is not really a tank that I would expect on this map. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a strong tank and it can be used in a lot of ways, but it's not, I think, in my opinion at least, it's not the strongest tank on this map. So now we see that 101st is focusing primarily on the city. They are leaving base B behind. Whereas we see Feast splitting up, focusing mainly on the seaside again. Especially with the 268 behind there. Nice little spot by the T22 over there. And they will expect people there even though there's no one there. And that means that 101st will likely be able to get base A and B, potentially both. They do start capping at the same time. And they will both have a base and it will be very close. Feast will have a tiny point advantage. But that's about it. No one going to base B just yet. I think they want to see if there are any campers behind, and Sleeping Lion has now been spotted. And they know that they are in the city. T22 is relocating. The Foch is moving along, realizing that he's not getting any targets there. And we see Maddox making a bit of an aggressive push here, with everyone else behind ready to shoot. But not much is happening yet. There's like an advantage of a split second for Feast. Sleeping Lion did lose a tiny bit of HP there. But they can't really do much, and I think Maddox is trying to spot for his team. But they are being pretty clever. And they're not letting themselves be spotted. At the same time, they will be the ones that need to make a little bit of a push. And it's pretty much a stalemate. Sleeping Lion has been spotted again. He's in a precarious position. That's not really where you want to be. Just giving you a different look here. We can follow Sleeping Lion a bit more. No one has been spotted right now. They can't really do much. Sleeping Lion can relocate now if he wants to. We have Maddox that is pulling back. We have Alpha that is spotting now. We see a few spots going on. Some shots being taken, no damage being done. But pretty much everyone is invisible. And we're already 3 minutes, about nearly 3 minutes into the match and 600 points into the match. Now Alpha is taking the position that Maddox was in before. And not much is happening. People being spotted. Shots being fired, no damage being done again. And I do not have much to talk about when it's literally just a stalemate like this. We are at 680, 90 points now. And the point advantage is ever so slightly. Yeah, I agree. They have to do something to make it work, and they have not that much time to do that in. But they seem to be content to just hold out. We have the T-22 that has been spotted again. But not much happening. We now see a bit of a move by the E5 here. Who has not been spotted yet. We are nearing 800 points. We are 4 minutes into the game. And there's literally one shot of damage. This is, okay. We have some repositioning going on. Maddox taking a position to, I think, provide cover for Alpha when he gets rushed, because we now see a move. Now we see a move. People are going. Maddox losing HP. They just need to hold. If they get one tank off, they are trying to get base B. They are trying to get base B together. This is very clever. They will not be able to reset all the points in time. And basically they all need to go in together. But if anyone dies, they did cap base B. They need to take it 960 points if they kill off another one. But at the same time, this is like... Oh my god, really? First tank that dies wins them the game, and it is Sugu that unfortunately dies, and that means the point is for 101st. This was one of the weirdest games I've ever seen and have ever commentated on. And that means that the point goes to 101st. So I'm gonna grab my Excel, because I got this really nice Excel sheet. Brian made it, and that helps us keep score. And in the meantime, I am going to look at what the current stance is for everyone. We have about 20 minutes left to go before the next match, so I will be showing you one or probably one replay after this. We see that TBT won. No, actually, they already had 2 points. We know that 101st won from Feast. And for the rest, we do not yet know. Let's see what happened if we already have some points. 3-2. That would have been a very exciting match. TBT versus ID. I'm just filling it in. Then we have Noob Boys. What did Noob Boys do? We don't know yet, but they are versus XR. Then we have low. And low lost against TNM. And now we just have to wait for Noob Boys to finish their match to see the actual points now. I am going to find you a replay to show. And let's see what we have. Let's see. Yeah, let's go for this one. A nice little match in the T9 bet chat. I absolutely love this tank. I've been playing it quite much. I've enjoyed the grinding it. And now I love the bet chat even more. But this is such a fun little thing. So let's see what happens, what he does and everything. And if this is a bit of a quick battle, I can still show you another one. But I want to make sure that I don't miss the room in the fight. Ooh. No, you did bend that one though. Funny thing is that for me, I'm not sure which gun I've chosen. I always go for the gun with the most pen in total. So that can be the pen in Primo, that can be the pen in AP, as long as they have the most pen. And the gun that has that wins for me. So now base A is being capped, and he needs to make a little bit of a move, but his team is now grabbing base C, so that will be pretty even. But they could potentially just cap base B and get the pressure on. Some blind shots being taken, 268 being very cheeky there, hiding nicely behind the rock, making it pretty much impossible. There we go. He did lose some HP for that. When you know you want to make that lush, ooh, that did cost him a lot of health. I generally don't pull back. But you know that that TD is there. And now we have the Pitbull that is coming up behind. And some very low HP targets. There goes the Object 140. And the T-57 Heavy won't be far behind, I think. But never fear, the bat chat is here. And I wonder if he's gonna get away with it. Oh, no. No, he's not. And now he needs to reload, run away, survive, avoid getting shot, and then get ready to clip the guy again. Pen just missed. In this point, I would have stopped to aim. This isn't even... Ooh, that was lucky. That was a lucky hit as well. There you go. Don't ram E100s. It is very painful. And now you just have to reload. You can Circle of Death an E100 forever. And just reload your clip and then unclip it again. E100 is being clever now though. Sort of. He was being clever. Now not so much. No idea what he's doing. What is he doing? I'm not sure what this is. It's not a pro survival tactic, that's for sure. And our guy has already done near 4k damage. But he is a one-shot, so he needs to be careful. And he needs that shot to miss. Or to track. Ooh, that was lucky. He can take him out now, though. Not if he does that. But he has a little bit of help from his friends. With a little bit of help on my friends. And now there's only one enemy left. And our bat chat will reload in time. You can't HE that. But you can potentially steal the kill. Not if your teammate rams you though. But there you go. 4.6k damage. Lovely. Cheeky little high gun. And that is an ace. Nicely done, bit of spotting damage. Few miss shots, but all the same, quite nice. And we still have time for one more replay. So let me find you a fun one. Oh, this will be good. This isn't a TD thing. I have this really big thing against TDs camping. So I'm always curious to see when I get a TD replay whether or not they are camping with it. Same guy, by the way, Fizzy, one of our recruits. So let's see what he does. It does look nice, this camo on this tank. So we are heading for base C, which in my opinion is a good call because I quite like the positioning at that base. At the same time, with so many heavies, the chances that you will meet all of them here is quite big. We have no mats spotting the middle. Enemy team has no mats, but they might send a heavy there. But the mat of the green team is only now starting to move. And they've kept the base, they are continuing on. Now we see E75 at base B. Nice shot. I still don't get people zooming out right before they shoot, because that is gonna lose you so many points. Like this again. He manages to hit it, but it's just so much chance that you throw off your aim while doing so. And that was a bit too hasty, especially with the pattern getting in the way. This is what I mean. It will just throw your aim off when you do it like that. And that is just derp. There we go, nice kill. I like that he's not really camping. That is exactly what I mean. Use your sniper mode. It's there for a reason and it's useful. Second kill. It is 6 versus 4, so they should definitely have this. T95 there. Not aimed at all. He has quite little damage though. But he did cap a base early on in the game. And when this guy is just standing there, that means that he basically gets free damage. There he goes, one guy left. And Fizzy is still full health, so he can afford to be a bit YOLO here. I'm amazed at that penned. Yeah, you weren't aiming there, so I'm not surprised there. 3.5k. Let's see. There he goes. Nearly 4k damage. And an early base cap, so that can lead to a golden result. And it does. 4 kills too. 495 supremacy points. That will do it. And with that in mind, I'm not going to go into another replay because I don't want to miss the room invite, which will be in about 5 minutes. And we're going to see how Noob Boys has done. And Noob Boys lost to X-Range. After seeing them play yesterday, Noob Boys has been pretty strong. So I'm a little bit surprised at that, if I'm honest. So now we have distance, and the only one that so far has won all 3 games is, let me see, TBT. So it's a quite nice spread on Asia server in that regard. Pretty even. So will be cool to see what else happens. And now we just wait for the room. We can look at my pretty tier 1 tank. There's not much else on this account. Mainly because I don't play it. I literally just have it for forum purposes and stream purposes. Because my ping on Asia server is quite horrible and unplayable. So yeah, that's not really a thing for me. So now we just have to wait. We have to wait about 4 minutes. Let us see, by the way, because I made this little cheat sheet. We are now going up against TNM. And for that we have maps. And the first map that we're gonna go to is... Why aren't you here? I'm gonna add that right now. Because for some reason I can't find it right now. So I'm just gonna add the map as we speak. There we go. I need to resize it just a little bit. There you go. We're gonna start off on Canal, which is one of my favorite maps in the game. I absolutely love it. It's quite big, so you can go a lot of different ways. You have 4 bases to dominate the game with, which can be quite fun, but also very frustrating. We have base D on the medium side, and base C and B to their closest to their respective spawns, so they are generally the ones that get capped the earliest. And on the other hand, we have base A, which is in the corner. There's a lot of potential camping positions with lots of great lines of fire. But overall, it is a really fun map with a lot of little hills, perfect for peekabooming, all the ridges and all of it. I love this map, I really like it, and it's always fun to see clan wars on this map because you can go so many different ways, you can dominate so many different parts of the map. For me, in randoms, if I can, I generally always go base D, because I feel that it is easiest to make a push towards one or the other direction from there on out. And that's something just I really enjoy. So that is the first map. After that, we get Naval Frontier, which looks like this. That is the map that we saw the Tier 9 Batchat replay on. You have base C, which is considered a mat base. We have base A and B that are more close together, but base A is a lot more elevated. For me, regardless of what type of tank I drive, base A always has the preference because you have the high ground there. You can pretty much cheekily cap. You can be defensive there. You can be aggressive there. For me, it's definitely the more fun side of the map to be on, and I think it's also the side of the map where you can do the most from. And from base A, you can easily go into B and cap that as well, which just makes it more fun. And basically that is it for this map. That is what I prefer to do. But again, team games are quite different. And as last map we get... Oh, there's the room invite. Let me accept that first. And ready up. I am now a spectator of TNM instead of Feast, but okay. Of course they are against it, but I mean that I start on the other side. Let's see, here we go. The last map that we get is Desert Sands. Desert Sands is not one of the most fun maps in my opinion. Base C is definitely the heavy map. Base A is definitely the medium map. Base B is pretty much impossible to cap because there's a lot of ways to decap it. I always prefer going to base A, capping that because it's also possible to decap base B from there. And basically that's it for this map. There's the positioning in desert I much prefer to the positioning in town. I like working ridges and hills and all of that, and that is pretty much impossible in town, so that's probably why. But the thing that I like most about this map is the Easter egg, where you can shoot a certain window in a certain building and you get this giant sandworm from June that jumps out of the desert, outside of the map of course, and back into the sand. And that is just wicked. I love little Easter eggs like that. And that's definitely the most fun one in my opinion. So those are the 3 maps we can see right now. Or at least when we start. With of course starting with Canal. With the 4 bases and all of that. Just showing it a little bit to get it back into your mind's eye. Let me put it that way. Making sure that it is gone so that we can't have a map on the screen when we go into the battle. And we currently see Feast that has completely readied up already. We see 3 IS-4s, 2 E50Ms, an E3 and a Bedchat. Whereas it looks like that TNM is going to go for a much heavier lineup with, let's see, we have potentially 2 mice, an IS-7. Oh, now we see some changes being made. I always feel like taking one autoloader is a bit of a tricky thing because you can't really one clip people then, but if you have another AMX with you, they can clip people together, and that is very deadly. And people will be more scared of you because you will have that other autoloader. Sorry, just taking a bit of a drink there because all this talking makes my throat dry, and that's something that has happened on every stream so far. But that is what we have drinks for. So we see that TNM has not yet readied up, but we still have about 2 minutes left to go, so they have the time. And no, Shogol seems to be offline. I hope that he comes back in time. That would generally help. And we have 2 minutes left to go. Okay, now they're all online and they're all readied up, and we see 1 mouse, 2 IS-7s, an IS-4, an AMX-50B, a 263 and a Bedchat. So everyone is ready up now. We are ready to go. We have about 1 minute 40 seconds left to go before we actually go into a battle. But it should definitely be fun. And I think that we're gonna see a combination of base closest together with base A for TNM. And I think that we're gonna see a base closest together with a base D for Feast on this from this angle. So we have 1 minute, 12 seconds left to go. I hate the waiting game. It is boring. And I just want to see the action because it's so much fun to watch competitive gameplay. For me, at least, I much prefer this to regular tournaments. Regular tournaments are a lot more chaotic. There is more pressure here, but there's also more sort of organization, let's put it that way. Or people organize this better. The team communication is better. These are the highest, the top 8 tanks for the Asia server, and that means that you get very interesting gameplay because all these people are properly committed to Clan Wars, and they have the tactics and they do the game thing and all of that. So now in 20 seconds we get to go in. And we get to see what happens. And I'm very curious about TNM because I've seen in the results that they've been pretty awesome. So I really want to see what they do, what they're like and all of that. And here we go. Lots of different avatars on TMN side. Not sure what that means, but okay. Let's go up, up and away. And we see that kind of as I expected, aside from the IS-7 there, they are focusing on the bases close to them. They're going straight into the, the low area there, let's call it that. We see some shots being taken, the mouse already taking some damage. We have Feast that is capping base C and D, and they are definitely going to be able to cap that before TNNN does anything. And now they both have 2 bases, but Feast has a slight point advantage. We see the Batchat moving around. We have the 263 that is taking up a camping position up on the corner. We have the AMX 50B and the IS-7 with the IS-4 spotting here. We see Maddox that is holding on the bridge. We have the mouse that is steadily losing a little bit of HP as he peeks out. And Huff is now in a position that I really love to use in randoms because it really works. But at the same time, if you go there, you should be absolutely punished. But the IS-7 is not sure what he's doing there. We have the Batchat that is moving around. The IS-4 keeping things spotted. He knows where the IS-7 is. If he goes up that ramp, he will be shot by the IS-7. We have the 263 moving back. AMX 50B now all the way to the back on a ridge. And I hope that the E50M is paying attention. We have an IS-4 that is there. IS-7 is losing a bit of HP. But not all that much going on. But Feast has like a 3-point advantage. Now we see a rush over here. We have the mouse that is moving in. We have the E50M that has not yet responded to the guys that are appearing here. Not sure why he's ignoring the very juicy Batchat in front of him. Half now being focused. And there goes BNV. We have a crossfire that is coming now on Feast. But the IS-7 is very low HP, so it can go either which way. There goes the IS-7. The IS-7 here is very low HP as well. He has to angle just right, but he does die. And we have Feast pushing the Batchat literally. And that's going to be the end of the Batchat. And TMN is losing a lot of tanks. But at the same time, Feast does have a lot of very low HP targets. If the Batchat gets rammed here, he's gonna die. There he goes. And now it's 6 versus 2. And this is not looking good for 100 TMN. This is definitely Feast game. And that happened quite quickly. I think the push was too uncoordinated. It didn't work. So the first game is for Feast. Damage-wise, it's not all that much different. And it started like this really fast game, but I'm not sure how this happened. They just didn't seem to coordinate. So now we have Feast already completely readied up with potentially 2 AMX 50Bs, a Batchat, a 268, 2 IS-4s and an IS-7. And we see on TNN side they are still changing tanks, but I see Leos, haven't seen those much. They do have laser accuracy, but they're so achievable. That can be painful. But they haven't decided yet completely. They're not completely readied up yet, but they still have 1 minute to choose their tanks and decide what to do and where to go. And we now see an IS-4, 2 IS-7s, a Leo, a 263, a mouse and a Batchat. So that's very light armored speed versus quite some troll armor. And in 40 seconds we get to go into the battle and see what they do with it. I like the fact that Feast has gone for 2 AMXs because, like I explained before, if you have 2 you can clip people together and that makes you very, very deadly. You can also share HP better and share shots better. At the same time, when you are reloading, you're generally reloading together and that will make you quite useless for your team for quite a bit of time. But if you are in a good position and you did manage to clip your enemy, it can be worth it because you can potentially survive having that clip reload, even if you have enemies straight in front of you. And here we go. Up and away. We have the Betcha that is actually turning around, not going towards base D. We have the Leo that is, but he's likely to meet the Betcha there and potentially the 268 as well. And we have Feast that is capping base B. TMM is not going for base C. They're not really going for the bases this time around. They're making a bit of a push, but not really committing to it. I'm not sure what's going on here. The Batchat has lost a bit of health, but the Leo is there all on his own. And I don't think they know that. 268 is now going into a position. And they are letting them get base D. Batchat is moving away. 268 is running away. And Joy has lost most of its HP. But they do have two bases now. The AMXs are capping base A. But the point advantage would be in TMMN's advantage, if not for the fact that they just lost a tank. We have the Mouse that is holding 263 that is camping and getting some shots in. 268 that is moving but has lost quite a bit of HP making that track. Shots being fired. And most of Feast is at the back. With the 263 that is continuously moving. Getting some nice shots in though. But he has not been spotted. 268 moving into the corner for a better camping position. And overall HP is being lost by Feast more than the other way around, but they are still pretty even. But Feast does have the point advantage because they have a gun more. They also have a gun advantage because of that. And Huff is relocating. Potentially he might go look for where the 263 might be. And it will be up to TMN to make the move and make it happen. We have the Mouse that is holding in the town. We see a bit of fireworks going on here, but not all that much. They are in pretty good positions, pretty good holding positions. But Feast does have the luxury of not having to push. The push will have to come from TNM. IS-4 now relocating. Mouse is losing HP as he tries to be a bit forward. But it is costing him to do that. Shogul going through the middle there. Mouse taking a massive hit there. Now absolutely slaughtered. Nice focus fire. Too aggressive a push on the Mouse. Not enough a push on the rest. We now see something else going on here. And B and V is not going to survive that. But they are losing so much HP trying to get one tank out of the equation. We see the Batchat ramming another Batchat. We see the Batchat going after the Leo, but he's now in a clip reload. And this is basically, Batchat has reloaded, but he is gonna lose a lot of HP doing that. He does die though, and this means that, tanks are dropping left and right. We have the AMXs that are moving in. There goes another one. Now it's 5 versus 3, and they are bleeding HP. This is not looking good. We have Oramini Dragon that wants to help his teammate, but he doesn't manage to, and now he's the last one alive with his back towards a great many enemies. And there he goes. And the second game is for Feast. And that was exciting, but I think again, if that Mouse pushed, he didn't have to push like that, and I think that is why he might have cost him the game with that, because that sort of set in motion a very uncoordinated push. So now the pressure is definitely on TNM because they have to win this one if they want to have a chance of the point. Whereas that is not the same for Feast. Feast can still lose 2 battles and still get the point if they win the one after that. But now we are moving to Naval Frontier. And I'm gonna recall the map just quickly here. We see base A, B and C. This is what it looks like. I always prefer base A and then base B. And I leave C to its own devices basically. I'm gonna take it away again so that it's not on the screen when we go into the battle. And we have Feast completely lined up with 3 IS-4s, an Optic 140, an E3, an E100 and a 215B. Whereas C and M is still not completely decided, but they still have around 45 seconds to make up their minds and see what they want to drive. And then we get to go into the battle and see what happens in this 3rd battle of this matchup. So far, I think that we're gonna have two IS-4s, a Mouse, an E3, a Leo, a 268, and potentially an IS-7. There are 18 seconds left. They are now already up, and that's the lineup that they're going for. Quite a bit of armor on both sides with a little bit of speed. I like that they're choosing the Leo. I'm not sure if it's the best decision when it comes to medium. It is fast, but then I would generally prefer the Batchat because it is faster and more troll and more likely to get away. There we go. When it does that, I'm always a little bit afraid that I'm gonna be tossed back into the garage and miss the battle somehow. And that is not something that we want. So let's go, let's see what they do. I'm gonna go over to base A straight away because that is where I expect people to be going. We have Feast that is focusing on base C and A. Sorry, not Feast. TMMN on C and a little bit of everywhere, but with the 268 overlooking. We have Feast that is going for the same sites with an E100 left behind to do some shooting there. People are being spotted. Base A is completely left alone. This is what I mean. What happens here is definitely not the same as what happens in randoms. We see a cheeky C cap going on. Not sure they're gonna let him get away with it. He's not actually capping, he's sort of troll capping. But they're both doing that, and that's why we get a lot of notifications about it. We see some shots being taken. We have the 140 that is going up here. We have the IS-4. Ooh, that was a big shot into the Leo. Leo is attempting to cap base A, but he is in a pretty open line of fire. E3 missed that, and I think that is very lucky for the Leo. But he did cost him quite a bit of health. We have Feast now also taking base B. And C now. Some shots being taken. Leo moving around. And now Feast has the point advantage, but look at the HP that Alpha just lost. Not to mention the HP that the E3 just lost. That is painful. We see some massive fire going on here. Fireworks. Mouse basically blocking the shot from his TD and Alpha making good use of that. Alpha is gonna lose quite a bit of HP here, I think. Yeah, he is. But as long as he's careful, they are shooting the Mouse. We see Frosta is now appearing. HP being lost all around, but look at this focus fire here. They are basically making them block each other, and that is quite brilliant. There goes the 268. Mouse has very little HP left. Alpha is still alive magically somehow. But there's some quite low health tanks. There goes another one. And now it's 6 versus 4. And they don't even need to get the base. Both teams have a base, but Feast has the definite advantage. E100 losing a lot of HP, but not before the Leo dies. Shots being taken, but some bounced and some not hitting. The E3 that is now being slaughtered. And now there's 2 guys left. An IS-4 that just... There he goes. Now the IS-4 is the only one left. And he is being... well, rushed. They can actually take their time doing this because they have all the time in the world. And I'm just gonna take you in for that last shot. There he goes. And the game is for Feast. And that means that Feast wins this one 3-0. And they will get the point for this. Nicely done. Seriously, this shows that everything can go every which way. It is amazing. I love it. I like that it's pretty open. So let me just have a look how it all looking right now. We have Feast that won versus TN and M. Just gonna entering my sheet again. Let's see what happened to TBT this time around. I think they are definitely the ones to watch. Watch out for, that is. Matches are still progressing. Of course, we only have 3 matches in our team, so it can really go either which way. We still have some time. I'm gonna play you another replay, and then I'm gonna look at the results again. This should be fun. Jaeger was my first tier 10 tank, and I mainly went for that line because I don't even remember how, but I saw and heard the noise of the gun, and I wanted that thing. Not Supremacy, so can go either which way. He generally goes for the direction that I would prefer to go in as well when it is not Supremacy. When it is Supremacy, I prefer to go to the other side. And now we don't really have a target yet. We have an STB there, but that's about it. People are being spotted. Nice T-54 E1. He's wise to pull back from a Jaeger. But the Jaeger is playing quite aggressively. I'm a big fan of that. I like it when people are cheeky in TDs. Ooh, with HE, 400 damage only, but that can be worth it. Look at the bounces though. Ooh, that is 1k spotting, well, assisted damage, I think. That is quite evil. He's not going to be happy with that, because now he's a one-shot for the Jaeger, that is. We have the Jaeger pushing quite nicely. Oh, that is evil, HE to the bum. 1426 damage in one shot. He is not happy. He is cussing in the chat. It's not his fault that you show your butt to him. We have the Foch over here. That is going to be a nice shot as well. There we go. 777 damage. And we see people vanishing all around. And I think he just wants a big HP target. But he's probably not going to get it. There we go. There goes the STB. He did get a shot in though. I have to give him credit for that. That has nothing to do with luck. This is when people are just so salty. It just makes it all the more funny when it really does not work out how they want it to. Oh my god. It is not his fault that you noobed STB. But okay. Now he is being very forced, but there are like only 3 TDs left on their team. And I like that he's being very forward because he's basically playing it like a med. Nice shot there. Tortoise is there. Tortoise is coming. Nice little bounce. He is gonna take out that guy right now. There he goes. 4.5k damage already. 2 tanks left. Object 140 and a 12 HP Foch. And the Object 140 will want to track him. Oh, look at this. He's trying to run. 4 kills, 5.3k damage, 2.1k block damage. And a nice ace. That was such a cheeky match. And such a salty STB. 1k spawn. That is exactly the shot on the T-54E1 that we saw. So let's see, do we have a result yet? Otherwise I'm going to show you another replay and then we're going to look again. I'm also doing this so that you can get more coins. Because you only get coins for the duration of the stream. No, we don't know yet. So there are more matches that we can check, but I'd rather just check all of them at the same time. So we are gonna look at another... Ooh, this is fun. We have a match in the Ravioli that I can show you. Ravioli is one of those tanks, I didn't get it because in my opinion it is not really a bad tank, it's not really a great tank either, it's just, it's got nothing really going for it, it's just So I used to get about every tank that came into the game, but right now I choose the ones that I really want, and some of the ones that I really want I can't really get because you have the T22 medium that I really want, and you have the T95 E6 that I really want, and then you now have the AMX30B that I really want, but it is in crates and I hate crates, and I don't know why Wargaming, well I do know that why Wargaming does that. They earn a lot of money with crates, because people are complaining that they're not getting anything from crates, and then they say, yeah, I bought like 40 and I still didn't get the tank, but you bought 40 crates! That is like profit for Wargaming. Yes, you get coins as long as you watch through the portal. Yes, as long as you watch through... I'm making typos. I like having a copy-pasted tank. No enemy has been spotted yet. They are all on the other side, which is logical because that is where you generally would go. Nice little shot there. And that will be the end of the KV4. Nice little teamwork, nice little... Ooh, smasher. Nice little combined targeting there. And we have T29 making a bit of an aggressive push. We have the enemy team that is now appearing behind their team. But I think that is a good call to push the ones that are left here. And we are just waiting to see what happens. We have 3 guys over here. We know that the smasher is around here somewhere. That bounced though. To be fair, it's not really a team. You went this way as well. Your team just flanked on. And the Ravioli's team is working together so well. There we go. And they're holding quite well, whereas the guys over there, the E25 T44 and the CDC, aren't really working all that well together. Ravioli taking a bit of a jump here. Of course it is not officially called the Ravioli, but that is what it is called and I am sticking to it. We have a E25 here, that is the end of the E25. And then we have 2 guys left. Ooh, don't shoot your own teammate. So rude. But now we have a CDC. And the Ravioli taking some damage. HE to the bum. No, that was HE to the tracks. Or sort of to the tracks. He is running away, which I fully understand. 2.4k damage for the Ravioli so far. CDC is running off. Makes another kill. T29 is left, but he's gonna troll cap the base. And the Ravioli is in pursuit, and I hope that he cuts off a little bit here, which he does. Good call. That's the word I was looking for. Not sure what the T29 was firing at there, but we are likely to see the CDC appear over there. Not aimed at all. No wonder that that didn't pen. And he is playing this nicely with the rock. And then he misses, which is less nice. He could still lose this one-on-one. Not sure if he will lose the battle. Nice cheeky shots there. Ram him. Remedy ram. Nope. Ooh. That was an HE fill. But you could potentially have this. Yeah, he's now going for the T29. I like that the T29 dutifully started capping the base because that needed to happen. Because the CDC can literally run around in circles and circles around you, basically. They still have time to cap it if they cap together. You have the CDC now moving in. And that was like a nice shot. 3.3k damage, 3 kills. Lots of chasing around. Fun match, for sure. Little bit of assisted damage. Overall, nice battle. That was fun. So let's have another look-see at the score. Okay, TBT won. Let's see. They won 3-0 versus Low. Then we have 101st. They won 3-1 from Noob. I'm loving these results. Sometimes it's really not what I expect. Because I saw Noob play yesterday and they were really nice. Then we have Feast we know. TMMN we know. XR we don't know. XR won from ID. What is up with ID, honestly? ID so far has not won a single game yet. That is like really weird. So overall, this is what the scorecard looks like. We have TBT at the top with 4 points, then 101st with 3 points. Noob, Feast and TMMM all with 2 points. It can go every which way, but it looks like TBT is the one to watch out for when we meet them. Let's see when that happens. I'm hoping that I don't miss that, to be honest. But of course I do, because that will be this Thursday and I can't stream on Thursdays because I work then. So that sucks. But in the weekend we get to see ID and Noob and Low and ID again. Then I miss it again on Thursday. I'm gonna see if I can possibly get some time off or something. Because I don't want to miss those matches. They were awesome. So that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay that I showed you. I hope you like the commentary that I provided with the gameplay that we got from the tournaments. And basically that is it for now. Thank you all for watching. And I'll be seeing you guys for some exciting matches. Hopefully on Thursday, but otherwise definitely on Saturday again. And for now, have a good Sunday. And I'll be back in the evening to stream EU. Goodbye.